Hi, welcome to the Leadership Lab. Education and career in the Europe is a relatively less explored field by the pharmacy students in India. Dr. Jimita Toraskar shares her life journey, her challenges, and her current job profile with us. She has done her Bachelor of Pharmacy from Mumbai University, her Master's from Leiden University, Netherlands, and her PhD from Norwegian University of Science and Technology. She has more than 5 years of experience in oncology and is an expert in cellular and molecular biology. Currently, she's a scientist at PubGene. She was also the General Secretary of the Indian Pharmaceutical Association Students Forum, Maharashtra State Branch in the year 2010-2011. A highly motivational speaker, a great leader, and a dear friend, we welcome Dr. Jimita Toraskar at the Leadership Lab.
Hi, Jimita. Thank you for joining us at the Leadership Lab. I'm pretty sure today, after listening to your story, a lot of students would be motivated to take up a career similar to yours. So without wasting much time, can we start with the questions, if you don't mind?
Hi, Pranav. Thank you for inviting me to your platform. I will be happy to share my journey with Pharmacad. So, yes, let's begin.
Thank you so much. So, Jimita, talking about the different career aspects, you have also taken a different route and you have ventured into something which is non-core pharmacy. Nowadays, it comes under allied pharmacy. So can you tell me what exactly is your current job profile and what kind of roles and responsibilities do you have there?
So currently I'm working as a scientist at a private company called PubGene. And PubGene is a company which develops a bunch of tools based on a patented text mining algorithm. So we have one patented text mining algorithm, and based on that, we have developed 3 different tools. One is called CoreMine Vitae, one is called CoreMine Medical, and the third one is called CoreMine Oncology. So when I started, my profile was to focus on one of the tools, CoreMine Vitae. But now, after almost a year, I have been playing in all these 3 different tools. I've been handling all these 3 different tools. So the reason I came into this line is because it's a startup. The company started 3 years ago. By now it should have been established. But as a clinical decision support making system, you are interfering with the healthcare system. You are providing information to the healthcare system, to the physicians, to the clinicians, to the researchers. So it's very challenging, it's very new, but it has a lot of potential. So this is one of the reasons why I selected this field, because it's futuristic. It's further down 20 years from now on, how would the healthcare system be with clinical decision support system. It's called CDSS. So I will tell you more about it in the further time to come.
Okay. So that's something very different for all pharmacy students. I'm pretty sure they would not have even heard of the current profile that you are discussing right now. Yeah, absolutely. So what is it exactly like? What is the industry scenario with respect to your current job profile? Like, are there other companies who are also into this? Is there any potential for growth for the new students who wish to take up this profile? What is it exactly?
So clinical decision support system, CDSS, have been in place since 1980. So what I'm saying is it's not new. It's been there. The thing is, when you take B.Pharm, when you take pharmacy, you kind of feel like, okay, my life is this, but it's not. It's just we are not aware of what are the options we have. And honestly, if you would have asked me as a pharmacy student, Jimita, do you know about CDSS? I would be like, I don't know. So, but it came very gradually. I became gradually aware about what is happening. So after my, I have also been very short-sighted. So after my pharmacy, my next step was master's. And when I started doing my master's, I realized, okay, there is something called high throughput screening, like where you can test for different drugs to find one potential drug which might eventually come to the market. So after that, I started doing my PhD, and I realized that even though my PhD is PhD in breast cancer research, I don't want my career to be about breast cancer, but I want my career to be about PhD. So that's how I started going to different conferences, meetings, seminars, and then I started understanding how the whole field works and what is futuristic. So what is going to come in next 20-25 years. So I have always been more inclined to see the potential of the market after a certain period of time. Maybe it does not have the potential today, but after 20 years, it will have the potential. So I would advise everyone to just go to the conferences, seminars, even though you don't have a poster presentation or anything, just go and just see which are the companies out there, what are their products, what do they do. And that's how you start understanding the field. You won't understand the field by bookish knowledge because it just teaches you the theory. But yeah. So.
All right. Very nice. Very nice. Very true. And yes, I completely accept that just sticking to the books won't be suitable for the students as well. Moving on to the next one, in your current job profile and in your current industry, what kind of expectations do the industry have from the students? Like if a student wants to join this particular profile, what is the skill set that is required from the student's end to be eligible for your current job profile?
Okay, so for my current job profile, the topmost requirement would be bioinformatics. What I think is like when you break down bioinformatics, what is bioinformatics? The ability to organize, analyze, understand, and visualize. That's it. So because right now what I do is, I'll give an example. So if we get a breast cancer patient, okay, and so the patient already knows that I have breast cancer, and in Norway there are so many treatment options available, but are there different treatment options in USA compared to Australia, compared to New Zealand, compared to India? So because every country has their own medical guidelines, clinical practice guidelines, and based on that guidelines, a doctor gives you the medicine. But a doctor who is assigned to the patient does not have the time to go into the research. Who does the research? So that's when the patient comes to us that, hey, I have time. Time is very important. If the patient has cancer spreading all over the body, there will be no time to go through all the system. But if the patient has time to look into different options, where does the patient go? Because a doctor will say that, hey, I have only 15 minutes per patient. I cannot give you that attention. I cannot explain you what is happening to your body. I can't explain you what will be your treatment plan and treatment journey. That's where the patient comes to us. So we evaluate options across the globe. What can be done for the patient? What are the clinical trial options which are not available today but can be available in the future? So such kind of research-based work is where our company comes forward.
Okay. All right. Great.
Yes.
So the students should be well versed with bioinformatics is the one. Okay.
Yes.
And then
what we are doing is we are handling data from all over the world. We are handling articles, and then we are using our tool as a text mining tool. So I will just write breast cancer diagnosis, and then this breast cancer world will be extracted from all the literature across the globe. And then using our algorithm, we will create a treatment graph based on the evidence. And that's how we give our products. Our patients will never see the algorithm. Our patients will just see the final product. But that's how our whole company works. We have one algorithm to handle the knowledge base across the globe. So to handle such vast knowledge, bioinformatics is very, very important.
Okay, cool. So yeah, definitely. So I would just request the students, or I would just highlight the word bioinformatics for the students as well. What was that one moment, or maybe a couple of more moments, that actually influenced you to get to this particular decision to be able to take this as your career? Because there were so many other options available, considering your educational background, your academic records have been great. So with that, you could have so many options, but you selected this. So what exactly made you select this particular career?
Yeah, so you and I have been friends for quite long. So maybe when I say this answer, you would connect with my way of thinking. But I've always been inclined towards new ideas, towards startup ideas, towards something that is different. And when I'm working with a company, I don't. So right now I'm in the analysis department. But if I want to enter a meeting of marketing people, I should be allowed to do that. If I want to enter a meeting of software developers, I should be allowed to do that. So I love this interdisciplinary kind of job. I love to have interplay role in different departments, and that's how I landed here. So my uh, goal, my aim in my life is to learn as much as I can. So the moment that my boss said that, okay, we are 15 people in a company, we are just a startup, 5 people in analysis team, 5 people in the marketing team, and 5 people in the software developing team. But you can jump within the team, you can link the teams together. And that was the moment that I said, yes, I want to work with PubGene. So for
Oh,
me,
great. Got it.
interdisciplinariness of company is very important.
Right, right. So you're getting to work across the functions of the company, and that certainly helps you to expand your horizon as well, and contribute to all different departments of the organization too.
Yes, and sometimes when I go to the marketing meeting and I might put in a suggestion and they might say, hey, that's a stupid suggestion, and you should be
Right,
able to accept that because that's not your field. So just because you're allowed to go in there, you just go with an open-mindedness. They're open to your suggestions, but there might be some resistance also to that. And
right.
that's absolutely okay. It's a learning process. So
Absolutely true.
that's it. Yeah.
Yes, and yes, also considering the past, that yes, as you rightly said, we have been friends for quite some long time. So definitely, I do know the lot of challenges that you have faced, but certain challenges that you would like to highlight as a student that you faced during your academic career and the current professional career, and how did you try to overcome those challenges? And I'm pretty sure a lot of students would be able to relate to those challenges academically as well. So if you could kindly share certain challenges that you faced and how you overcome those challenges.
So the most important thing that I would like to say is don't let anyone tell you what to do and what not to do. Right now I'm giving this interview, but that does not mean that I want you to come into clinical decision support system. That's not my aim. Don't let
Right,
your teachers, your parents, don't let anyone decide what you want. You should be able to decide what you like, what you don't like, and that's not going to come overnight. You will discover it eventually, but give yourself that time. Give yourself the freedom to make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. uh, but yeah, just don't let anyone tell you what to do, what not to do. Like for example, in B.Pharm I used to get 60%, 60, 61, 62, and my teachers, there was a time when in organic chemistry I just passed with half a mark, and my teacher was so mad at me that, Jimita, you are a good student, why are you not putting in that effort? Where will you end up in life? You're not taking your life seriously. And nobody would have thought that I would end up doing a PhD. Everybody would have thought that, okay, she is more of a public speaker, she's into IPA, she's into marketing, so she might do an MBA. So but that's not what I wanted to do. So if I would have allowed people to create my perception, then I would have been in a different place today compared to where I am today.
okay, so facing a lot of public criticism actually helped you to grow more, is that the case?
I don't know how to answer that. But
All
like,
right, cool.
I have always heard what people have to say. I've always listened to their opinions and advices. Of course, they are your teachers, they will wish good for you. But सब सुन के लो, जो करना है खुद में आप decide करो कि मुझे क्या करना है. That's it. Just listen
Yes,
to
I remember. I remember this very clearly. You had told me once, listen to everyone and eventually do what you want to do. So yeah, I remember this one.
it.
So Jimita, as you know, like it's been pretty a long time, long journey with your B Farm, then your masters, and then your PhD, and then the job that you have right now. So it's been quite a long period, and what happens is not everybody is able to sustain for this long and eventually land up into a good career of theirs. So certain obviously principles and ethics that you might have strongly followed during these 10-15 years to be able to reach to this place. So if you could just share about what basic ethics or principles that you followed, that this has to happen, कुछ भी हो जाए, this will remain as it is, and I will make sure that I do not deter from these ethics which helped you to reach to this particular place.
So one thing is, I've never been the brightest student of my class, but I have been good enough. So my advice to everyone is ki now you have entered a field where you can't say that I don't like reading. ठीक है? You have to read. You are into pharmacy, you have to read. You have to stay updated. So first habit that you have to change is start reading. You know, कुछ भी पढ़ो छोटा सा nature communication, short nature communication article. Don't pick up an article which is like 50 pages and say, hey, I hate reading. Pick up short communication, but every day read one article, just one article every day, and you see over a period of time when the knowledge accumulates, you yourself will start having a confidence that hey, I belong to this field. You know, then you will start owning your career. You will start owning your field, and फिर कितना भी चाहे time लग जाए, 2 years, 3 years to finish your degree or something, you will feel comfortable. You will like being there because you know 365 days in a year. If you read one article, you still will manage reading so much at the end of the year, and slowly that's how you start developing. And
Right.
on a personal front, I would say be stubborn. But not in a bad way. Be stubborn with a purpose. Pranav is stubborn, I am stubborn, we both are stubborn, but we are stubborn with a purpose, and that always helps. So what is stubbornness with a purpose? Perseverance, isn't it? So perceive
Right,
your field.
absolutely.
Now that you have entered B Farm, not even for a second you say that hey, कि medicine में नहीं मिला तो मैं आया. वो ख्याल ही निकाल दो दिमाग से. You have entered B Farm because you like it. Even though this answer is wrong, start saying that to yourself, that I like B Farm, I like pharmacy, and I'm going to make the best out of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very nicely said. And Jimita, since you said also about reading, as you emphasized on reading, if it would be great if you could recommend certain non-scientific books. Like obviously, since so many years, you would have also read a lot of self-development books for our. So if you can recommend certain books, a couple of books for our students to read, which helped you to learn a lot and then maybe apply that in your personal and professional life as well. Certain books that you have been through for self-development.
Yeah, so one of the so I have recently started a book, being a part of a book club, and I did not start it. I'm a part of a book club, and we picked up a piece called "This Is Water" by David Foster Wallace, and uski YouTube video bhi hai. So if you are not used to reading books, and you can just go and watch the YouTube video. It's a 30-minute, 25-minute video, but it's such a beautiful video, Pranav. Let me tell you, it starts by a story of two fish. Okay, so two young fish are swimming in the water, and an older fish is coming from the other way, and she's just asking the two younger fishes that how is the water, and the two fishes are like, huh, where's the water? So the whole point of this story is sometimes you might not be aware of what is around you. You might start over intellectualizing the whole concept and idea without even acknowledging what is around you, what is right in front of you. So that's a beautiful book. It teaches you how to use your education. So your education is not till the end of your B.Pharm or end of your master's, your end of PhD. It's going to be forever. It's a constant learning process. So this is one of the books which I really want everyone to read.
And Jimita, the last question that I would like to ask you is, it's not a question as such, something that you would like to suggest some message for our students where they would be able to relate, and they can perhaps take it forward. Any motivational message for our students? Anything that you would like to leave behind for
Um, so I would just say, be verbal of your problems. It's not easy to make a career in this field. And if you have a problem, go and talk to your seniors, go and talk to your teacher. When Pranav asked which is the moment that changed my career path, I should have mentioned this, that when I was applying for my master's, I got rejected. My application didn't get through because the number of hours we study pharmacology in India is less compared to the number of hours you require to study pharmacology in Netherlands. So my application got rejected. But I was didn't accept that decision. I challenged it. I said that, hey, it's not about my marks, it's not about my grades, it's about the system. And how do you expect me to fight the way the education system in India is structured? So that's how the university in Netherlands, they took a note of my problem. We discussed it. They realized that I have the knowledge, even though the number of hours I study is less compared to a Dutch student. They made a note of it, and I got admission. And after I got admission, it was a very expensive process, and sometimes I didn't have money to pay the rent. And I was verbal about that also. I wrote a message to my dean that, hey, this month I cannot pay my rent. Can you help? And I didn't even know that there is something called as dean funds, and he just gave me 500 euros from the dean funds to pay my rent for the month. So what happened is, over a period of time, I've always, if I'm in a problem, I've spoken to my friends, I've spoken to my teachers, I've spoken to whoever is there around me.
Right.
And together we have always found a solution. So even in my personal life, I'm miles away from my family. And if my family needs something there, I have called Pranav that, hey Pranav, I'm in a mess. Can you help me? And he's been there. So always be verbal about your problems. Your family, friends, teachers, everybody wishes good for you. So be mentally healthy. Speak out, speak up, and this will push you miles ahead.
That was such a great message, and with a very nice example, actually. Yeah, certainly, as you rightly said, that example would have been used in the challenges that you faced. I'm pretty sure a lot of students would be able to relate, because education is becoming an expensive affair these days, and a lot of students are not able to actually generate enough funds to be able to pursue higher education in India as well. So I'm pretty sure they would be expressive about it, and they might be able to get some help from their well-wishers. As you rightly said, a lot of people are there who think well about you, and I'm pretty sure they would be ready to help them as well.
And that's the thing, like, we don't even know which are the funds available. Like, when I applied to Leiden University, I didn't even know that when you don't get a scholarship, you can get Ivory scholarship. And Ivory scholarship by itself is 50%. So just because you didn't get scholarship doesn't mean that you can't study further. There is, there are a lot of categories. And even if you don't get Ivory scholarship, you get Dean funds. So such kind of things are never written on the university websites. You have to get in touch with people. You have to network, and you have to get the information out of people.
And thank you so much, Jimita, for joining us. And I'm pretty sure the moment the students go through this interview and they watch this, I'm pretty sure they'll have a lot of keynotes to take away from your conversation with us, and also certain that they will be able to use these pointers to maybe pursue their higher education abroad as well. So thank you so much, Jimita, once again for joining us.
Thank you, Pranav.
And it's
Thank
been
you
a
for
pleasure.
inviting.
Thank you.
Happy to share. Yeah, have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you for watching the Leadership Lab. If you have any questions for our speakers or any suggestions for us, you can email to us on pharmacad.mumbai@gmail.com, and the title of the email should be the Leadership Lab. And we shall try to send your questions to the speakers and get the answers at the earliest. Thank you so much for supporting. Keep watching. Take care.